Hi everyone, I hope that you're all well. I know that it's been ages, as usual, since I've come on here to record anything, but I was really feeling drawn to come on today as I just finally watched the Escaping Twin Flames documentary that's on Netflix right now. Some of my friends had been sending it to me, and I was like, oh my God, what's this going to be about? I was a little bit nervous for it. To back it up, I will say that from the first time I ever saw Jeff and Shalea, I've never followed their channel. I've always felt within my own intuition that they're just not true twin flames, and maybe almost not to a fault of their own, but I see them as two people that came together who are interested in spirituality, that were exposed to, the terminology of twin flame and utilize that term in order to gain more followers, probably to make more money. And I will say that sadly, I do think this is quite common, especially in the spiritual community. My good friend Jeff, who's another twin flame, him and myself, we had made a video maybe a year or so ago discussing just this. And Jeff and Shalea were, someone that I had thought of when we were discussing this. I don't know if I said their name on the video. I'd have to re-listen to the whole conversation. But we just felt that there were a lot of people really throwing around the term twin flame, and I've seen it a lot even in hashtags of just sort of regular people I know, and it's become just almost like people making a bit of a joke of it in a way, which I'm not trying to spread any hate for that, because I get it. It's hard to understand it unless I feel you truly experience it on the true levels of what it's meant to be. So some of my friends have been writing me. Obviously they knew about my twin flame situation and my channel, etc. So I was getting messages from all different people sending me the trailer for the documentary coming out. And again, I was like, oh my goodness, what is this going to be about? Is it going to be making a joke of the whole twin flame thing? Was sort of what I was a bit worried about. But I watched the series the other day, and I literally almost needed a couple of days to just chill out, because, I really felt triggered by the documentary. I will say that when you're on this journey, yes, there's many cases, I think, and I've had clients where you can mistake a connection for a twin flame connection, because you're just, maybe the person leaves you behind and then you want to think that they're, quote, running. And many times, I've always described this, I thought I was going crazy as well, so many times. So it can be hard to discern whether or not you're really truly going through a twin flame connection. I will say oftentimes it's like time will tell. So when I watched this documentary, it really broke my heart to see these people that could be going through pain, whether they're an actual twin flame or not. They're going through a sort of pain, and to see that it was taken advantage of, I think, is what is really terrible. I feel like there's an aspect to what Jeff and Shalea were starting that could have been so positive. I really feel that there can be an energy exchange. I've done readings for people, and yes, as much as you want to do everything for free for everyone, I feel like people could be pulling at your energy a lot if you were to do that. So I think that's why you charge for a session. I always tried to keep it very fair, my rates, but you charge because it's an energy exchange. I'm outputting energy. I'm trying to help you. I'm giving you my undivided attention. It is work. But I feel that to take advantage of someone and overcharge them and push them, to say, oh, you need this, you need that. And I will say I've had even psychics try to do that to me. And thank goodness in my case, I think I've always been very discerning and very cautious. Early on when I was lost in my twin flame situation and I didn't know who to turn to for help, I went to a therapist for a few sessions and that didn't go well. That felt like a waste of money. And then I went to psychics and some were creeping me out. They're like, oh, you need to cut this person. You need to come to me for, sort of like a cord cutting thing. And just getting very pushy and, okay, I'm going to book your next session and I'm going to make you this thing. You need it for this or that. And it's like, oh, whoa, no, thank you. Like, this is creeping me out. But at the same time, to be in that situation where I was looking for answers, I was looking for help, I was confused, I didn't know what was going on. I understand why these people were looking for that help. And through that, even in my own world, like with joining YouTube, and I made friends with so many people and we had sort of like our own little spiritual community in a way. We would get together and we would do healing calls and many of us became really close. And I understand, looking for community. I was alone. Many people are alone and you're looking for friends, people to talk to. You're looking for someone who understands you as well when you're going through spiritual awakening. So I really have so much compassion for the people that sort of fell for the whole scam, hook, line, and sinker. You know what I mean? I really do feel bad for them, as much as I sort of think, didn't you notice? Or why did you keep giving them your money? Or why did you let them abuse you in such ways? I also understand and have compassion for that sense of wanting to belong, to be a part of a group. And I think the level of control that Jeff and Shalea used, where if you question what they're doing, you are shunned, you are out. It put people in a state of fear, and I just think that's so unfortunate. The part of the documentary that honestly sickened me the most is when they started to basically matchmake within their own followers, telling people who their twin flame is. That to me is so outrageous. How can you matchmake someone with their twin flame? It's, oh my God. It's like it's laughable, but it's so sad. And the horrific part about it, I hope you've watched this if you've turned this on. I don't want to give any spoilers here, but they were basically telling people to transition. They were telling people, no, you are the masculine and you need to be together with this female in the group and they are the feminine. And, people on the documentary are like, but I wasn't, I had never had feelings of being transgender, or I wasn't attracted to my same sex. But the crazy thing is, some people did go for it. And some people were even getting surgery and oh my goodness. Oh, that part, even right now, it's like, whew, I have to stay calm because it is so, so, so wrong. Oh my goodness, you cannot make a twin flame connection. That right there should show people what a joke this whole thing is, and that they really don't they don't know what they're talking about. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it breaks my heart. But I was glad that a lot of them were able to see the light and got away from it. I hope that they are doing better over time and dealing with the trauma from what they went through. I hope that they find strength within themselves and let that be such a big lesson in their lives to never give their power away like that ever again. It's crazy that I did look, and Twin Flame Universe, I think it is, they're still going strong. It looks like they still have lots of followers. Yeah, people have lost their family members. They basically tell people to stop talking to their families. So there were mothers on there just distraught because their kids basically told them they're cutting them off. And yeah, I can't help but to wonder the sort of karma that Jeff and Shalea will go through for putting people through this. And they show off on their videos, you know, of shopping at Chanel and all these material goods that they are buying with basically all these people's money. So I just wish that Jeff and Shalea, again, that they could have used this sort of power in such a positive way. And it could have been prosperous for everybody involved, you know. Some of the aspects seemed good, you know. They were sort of like a little support network for each other. People were learning to do coaching. I think coaching can be incredible if it's used in a positive way. But it seems like it was being used in such a negative way, you know, telling people what gender they should be and whatnot. One girl was pressured to go and be with a guy who was like an ex-criminal drug addict, and she was just this young girl. Oh my goodness, so many things. I could go on and on. But I just think these sorts of things could be used for such positivity, to bring people together, to go towards love and light, to help each other to heal. It's just so hard when our humanness sort of gets in the way. Again, I do believe there can be an energy exchange. You know, if people are getting coaching, there can be a fee, or if people are training under you to become coaches, yes, there could be a trade for work or a fee. But I think people know deep down when you're really ripping people off and manipulating people. So yeah, so that's really unfortunate. I was relieved that I didn't feel like it painted the actual twin flame concept in a bad way like I thought it would. I think for other people just watching it, I mean, they might get the feeling like twin flame is just a cult, but I hope that, you know, they would understand that definitely not all twin flames were a part of that particular group or cult or whatever we want to call it. As far as a little update for myself, it's been so long since I've been on here. My twin flame journey started about almost 10 years ago now. And I've always said that it was a huge part of my awakening, a huge part of my healing, bursting me open, allowing me to look at my pain and basically all of the layers of basically negative energy that I was holding on to and slowly releasing so much of it. I'm now in an amazing relationship. I have a great partner. We actually became engaged last spring. And as a partner, he is just a kind-hearted, good person. He's done his own work, and I would say like he even just came into this earth with like almost no trauma, no pain. He's just like, I don't know, a happy, good person. And he's also done ayahuasca and really began to awaken. And it's really nice to be with someone that I can fully be myself and even talk about spiritual things, and he doesn't think I'm weird. And I just feel like it's been such a time of growth and just a great exchange. And I deep down don't know that I could get along on this human level with anyone like I can with him. We don't fight. We just live harmoniously, really. If I tell him something's bothering me, he listens, we talk it through. It's just very mature. It's very open-hearted. It's like two people who have healed and who are in this sort of higher vibration that are vibing on a level where we just want to have like positivity, peace, love, manifesting a good life and our dreams. And yeah, I feel like the universe sort of saw the work I was doing and sent me a gift, and it's just this gift of peace. And in the process of all of this, my twin flame and I have talked. We've written each other back and forth here and there. The communication is open. He had been, I thought, engaged. He had a couple of children, and I really thought that was it. He's settled down, all of this. Well, as it turns out, him and his partner, they must have broke up around the time myself and my current partner got together. So it's really, really interesting because we've been able to communicate back and forth, and all the truths have come out, especially things on his end, because I do feel like I was always quite open. And now for him, it's like he can finally come to me and tell me the way that he feels, and the ways that he felt at the time, which he said he was so afraid of. And it's so interesting because all these things that you hear as a twin flame, all these things of thinking that you're crazy, and this is why I say I really think the way that you'll know if it's truly a twin flame is like time will tell. It's been 10 years and it doesn't go away. It just is. It's there. And it's at this place where it's like I can admit I have this connection to him. I have dreams of him sometimes, that are really vivid. It feels like I really meet up with him in another dimensional plane or on another level. They are so real when I have these dreams. It's insane. And they always, I've said this before in videos, they always reflect sort of what's actually going on in life or energetically. I feel like him and I have just had to admit that we've both surrendered to this. It's like we don't have control. It just is what it is. The connection is there. It's strong. He knows that I'm really happy, and he is really happy for me. I can tell, and he says it. And he has said, like, I know that I can feel, like he's watched my stories and stuff, and he's like, when we first started talking, he just said, I can feel like you're just really safe and you're at peace and all this. And I'm like, I really am. And the amount of growth that's happened on his end is honestly unbelievable. I can't even believe it. He's grown so much and changed so much. I mean, he went totally clean. He doesn't use drugs or alcohol, and he used to, and it was a problem in his life. So he's been clean and sober for, I forget if he said a couple years now or how long it's been. It just sounds too like he's gone on journeys in his own way, within, sort of like your own spiritual practices. His look different than mine, but he's delved into probably his layers of pain and trauma. We both had a ton of childhood trauma to get through, and it seems that he's really found his ways through that in different ways than what I have. His is very like masculine, I find, very physical. Like he just did a pilgrimage, walking, I don't know, for days and days, I forget, maybe for a couple of weeks he did this sort of pilgrimage. And he said he does yoga, or he's done it, and I think he's meditated and gone to like retreats, and I don't know, he's doing sort of like the cold therapy things, and he's doing intense physical training. It just seems like he's delving in this other sort of masculine way. And it's interesting because I had my time where it felt like I was on my own, and maybe it's like he's needed to have his time on his own to do his work. But we just reach out from time to time and catch up, and it's just like, I don't know, it's a feeling of love and of peace and happiness. And I just have to say that I'm here to tell you that this whole thing, it's real, and it's so beyond what that documentary showed. That is honestly, it just makes a joke of it. I remember when I first started off, I was really drawn to this couple. They're called Lee and Sherry. I've talked about them before. They have these old videos where they talk about, sort of their journey that they went through. And like, it was crazy. It went on for many, many years. And then I'm also really drawn to a lady that does readings sometimes. They always feel spot on, at least for me. She's like Meredith is her name, I believe. Meredith Crystal Oracle or something like that. She has some really good readings, I find, for the twin flames. And then just, doing all of your inner work and whatever you're drawn to. I love the twin flame community. Our community of people are just so many that we're drawn to awaken. Whether or not people ended up in these romantic relationships, or even if something just was sparked and maybe that person wasn't their twin flame, but they were drawn to this for a reason to delve more further into their spiritual practice, get to know other like-minded individuals. I do feel that so many of us are here to raise the vibration on this planet. We're here to spread love and light. And I've said this before, that it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be going around healing people, like I do Reiki and things like that. And sometimes it does look like that, but sometimes it looks like having a conversation with a friend, or posting maybe something that could possibly inspire others, or laughing and spreading joy, or, there's so many ways that we spread this energy around, and it's not a one size fits all, and everyone's so different. So, with that said, I will end my video here. I hope that everyone's doing well, and I would like to come on here more and even just think of ways that we can uplift our energy, maybe meditate or talk about topics. I'm really into health and well-being and all of that, so maybe I'll also come on here with some videos of, just some sort of things that I've been discovering or been coming to me to help with our physical vessel while we're here on this planet. Sending lots of love to you all, big hugs, and hang in there.